Student Engagement, presented by Fiona Robertson. Our school completed the Me and My School survey. Once we had got our results back, we noticed that our student engagement was extremely low. Our year 4 to 6 students are fully digital. They have one-to-one Chromebooks plus iPads and also the access to other digital technologies. And so within our classes, they seem engaged, so we were quite surprised with these results. The purpose of the Me and My School survey is to help schools understand student engagement. This survey measures how connected students feel to their school and how they view themselves as learners. And according to the nzcer.org research, students who are engaged with their learning and who enjoy school are more likely to have positive educational outcomes, whereas students who are not engaged are more likely to have lower achievement outcomes. The Me and My School survey looks at 3 different aspects of student engagement: behavioural, emotional and cognitive. Behavioural engagement is students who are behaviourally engaged would typically comply with behavioural norms such as attendance and involvement and would demonstrate the absence of disruptive or negative behaviour. Emotional engagement, students who engage emotionally would experience affective reactions such as interest, enjoyment or a sense of belonging. Cognitive engagement, cognitively engaged students would be interested in their learning and would seek to go beyond the requirements and would relish challenges. Those definitions for each of those 3 types of aspects of engagement come from the Student Engagement Literature Review. So educators see engagement as different things, as well as different places hold different views of engagement. And when students are engaged in meaningful tasks, achievement will hopefully increase. So once I looked at our results and I thought, well, what else can I do? Can I see whether it was actually my class that was engaged or not? So I came up with a Google form and I resurveyed my class. Some of the questions that we asked our students were things like, do you like being part of our class? Does your teacher treat you fairly? Do you feel bored at school? And we also asked why. What types of activities do you like doing? Do you feel engaged at school? How could your teacher make your learning more interesting? So they were the questions we asked from the Google form. Also, we did wonder whether students knew what student engagement meant. So before I got them to complete the form, I clarified what the meaning of this was. So definition of student engagement from the Hidden Curriculum is student engagement is the degree of attention, curiosity, interest, optimism and passion that students show through their learning and the motivation they have to learn and progress. 2 classes, my class and another class, completed my Google survey, and our students that completed were in our year 4 to 6 students. Some of the results from our survey confirmed that students enjoyed being in our classes, that they liked using their Chromebooks for their learning. They also wanted more opportunities to choose what they learnt. They all thought that their teachers, that we treated them fairly. A couple said they were bored, but overall most of our students weren't bored, and they also said that they were engaged at school and with their learning. And they gave us a list of things too that they would like to learn about, such as more about animals and doing more science, etc. I also was beginning to wonder whether we're actually really using those 21st century skills of collaboration, communicate, connect, create and critical thinking with our students. And if we are doing more of them and having children realise they're doing those, that maybe their engagement will be lifted. 21st century skills are part of what our students do need to be learning, and we need to be giving students opportunity to use these. I did wonder whether part of our disengagement of our students is because we're not using or giving students opportunity to use these skills. When we look at these skills, we can see how they link with the New Zealand curriculum and the key competencies, and as well as the Art Costas habits of mind, which we also have in our school. So what is the issue? Why is it a problem? Data from the Me and My School survey showed that our students are not engaged. In particular, students are doing very little work. When the learning gets too hard, our students give up. This has become a problem as our students are not achieving as well as expected, and many are below the required standard. What are we doing right, and what do we need to improve? All students have access to a range of technologies to support e-learning. Most teachers have been upskilled in the use of digital technologies, which is important because if they don't know how to use the programs or have an understanding of the programs, children become quickly disinterested. Our classrooms are modern and students can work where best suits their needs. We also allow opportunities for students to select which tasks they work on and when, and this is part of our developing of personalised learning for our students. According to New Zealand curriculum on TKI in the middle schooling engagement, when students feel valued by their teachers and peers, they believe their current learning is important and relevant and have the self-belief, learning, feedback and self-regulation strategies to make progress. They are more highly motivated and engaged in their learning. And according to the website of chef.ac UK, active participation encourages our students to take more responsibility for and have ownership of their learning, thus enhancing their academic experiences. Some studies have shown that engagement is increased through flexible, individualised teaching in a supportive learning environment. Project-based learning, for example, allows students to own their own task. Strong student-teacher relationships create a classroom where students feel safe and engaged. Student monitoring is a key step for teachers to assess whether they are having an impact on students. And through our results from our Google survey, we have found that our students do like being part of our class and that we treat them fairly. So that is linking in with that student-teacher relationship. Also, we daily conference and mark students' work, so they're getting the regular feedback. We talk individually with them, so there's a lot of in this little extract that we're actually doing as teachers within our school. So my next steps, my action plan is we need to increase our student engagement and develop our students as 21st century learners, as I also believe that this will help also lift our students' achievement results. I think our first step is to for this is to develop the SAMI model. We have started with this, but we are really doing that bottom level of this, the substitution, and we need to be at that top level. And next one is to introduce our students to 21st century skills so they know what they are and allowing them for opportunities to explore those skills. We need to include the opportunities for more creative hands-on tasks because through our Google survey, our students wanted more opportunities to be able to create and make. And we need to continue to work on and develop our personalised learning for our students. After probably 6 months, we need to next year in 2016 resurvey our students to see if there's been a change in student engagement. And I think to resurvey them would be good to survey the students that we surveyed this year and see what compare their results.